The Nintendo Switch 2 is out, and so is the many Switch 2 edition and free update games available on the Switch 2, and I'm here to talk about what possible future Switch 2 edition or enhanced games we can see on the new hardware. And to start off, I want to clarify what I mean by edition and enhanced games. Nintendo Switch 2 is a little weird where there's three types of games, right? There is the edition games, there's the exclusive games, and then there's the backwards compatible games. Switch 2 edition games are Switch 1 games that are upgraded for the Switch 2 with new content that requires an upgrade pack. There are a lot of games on Switch 1 that got free patches for Switch 2. That'd be Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Mario Odyssey, Captain Toad, Bowser's Fury. A lot of Switch 1 games got enhancement patches to optimize itself for the Switch 2, have some HDR support, have some 4K support. A lot of these games had like random simple patches. So I'm here to talk about what we can expect in the future for both the Switch 2 enhanced games and the Switch 2 edition games. To start off, I'm going to start out with the Switch 2 enhanced games, the free patches. What can we see? Ideally, every Switch 1 game could get a patch, but that's probably not going to happen because it seems to be very developer specific, where the devs themselves have to patch the game to optimize it on Switch 2. So this is what I can expect. This is my wish list for the free patches, right? First of all, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Notoriously, Age of Calamity ran like dog water on the original Switch, especially when you were in the Guardian segments, where you're riding the mech and you're trying to destroy all the monsters in your path. Those segments ran really bad. Luckily, the Switch 2 through backwards compatibility, Age of Calamity does run better. It runs at stable 30, still very low resolution, but it's playable now. Hopefully, around when Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment comes out, we can get a patch to resolve the issues of Age of Calamity on Switch 2 so that game can run really good. But that one desperately needs a patch. Another one I'm hoping to get a free patch is, actually, it could be already disproven or it could be already be proven when this video comes out. I'm hoping for the entire Pokemon main series games to get a Switch free enhancement patch. My whole, philosophy around the enhancement patches is I can see these patches being issued to games that already had expansions, already had their DLCs out, and are not gonna get any more content updates. Because I see those games that will get the content updates are probably gonna be Switch 2 edition, not gonna lie. The whole main series Pokemon games, they all run at 30, 1080p-ish on original Switch. And I'm hoping like games like Pokemon BDSP, Sword and Shield, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Legends Arceus. If they can run 60 FPS on Switch 2, that will be awesome. Add some HDR support as well. It's gonna be a lovely time. This video is probably be coming out post Pokemon Presents, so we'll see if this is already correct or not. We'll see. I think there's a pretty low likelihood though. Another one I would like to see, actually, for the free category is Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, and might as well toss in Buttership as well. Those RPG Mario games, right? Personally, I wasn't really that bothered for the 30 FPS on, Switch 1 for Thousand Year Door, but if the original runs at 60 and the newer one runs at 30, it's a little bit of an issue, right? It would be cool if they update Thousand Year Door to be HDR and 60 FPS on Switch 2. That's a little bump, and I heard Buttership, I haven't played it yet, but I heard Buttership also has some frame issues and loading issues as well. So hopefully with a dedicated patch, those can get resolved as well. Another one, Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing New Horizons. Please, dear God, give it a patch. Mostly for the loading. Mostly for the loading. Please. And Lord heavens, I know through backwards compatibility translation layer, it already shaves off a minute in loading. We can get that down further now. HDR would be cool. Doesn't really need it, but 60 FPS, why not, right? Do it, Nintendo. And the last one for the free updates category Honestly, Metroid Prime 1 remaster and Metroid Dread. Why not? Give it that crisp resolution, you know, give me that HDR, and I'll be a happy camper, you know. Those games deserve the 4K treatment, if you get what I'm saying. Those games deserve the 4K treatment, so I hope they update those games as well in the free patches, you know. Alright, now for the interesting stuff. The interesting, juicy stuff, right? The Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games. Games that I can see getting content expansions for the Switch 2 only. As of now, most of the games we've seen so far from first-party Nintendo that have additions also have bonus content. So Kirby Forgotten Land Star Cross World, it's a new story expansion. Mario Jamboree, its DLCs will probably be out once this video is uploaded. Is new bonus minigames and all that. The Zelda Notes is pretty cool for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Most of these additions that are paid have something along with it to make the price worth it, right? So this list are games that I can see getting content updates as well as the obvious frame rate plus resolution plus HDR buffs, right? This one's an oddball. I'm gonna go first with Kirby's Dream Buffet. If y'all don't know what Kirby's Dream Buffet is, it's a pretty lit game where it's pretty much a party, it's like a mini game rush, like Fall Guys type party game, but for Kirby, where you're these tiny little spears running around trying to get as many strawberries as possible to win. I can low-key see a Switch 2 edition where they add like, I don't know, 20 new mini games, a new mode, and just call it. Plus a nice stable 60 FPS will be nice because that game sometimes struggles. And of course a resolution bump as well. Low-key, I can see this one happening. Next one, Mario Wonder new campaign. I think it's very suspicious that Mario Wonder doesn't have a free patch yet. Very suspicious. We got 3D World Bowser's Fury on here. We got 3D All-Stars on here. We got New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe on here for the free patches. Mario Wonder is not on the list. It has no patch yet. I think they're holding out the Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition for the Anniversary Direct. Not gonna lie. I won't be shocked if it gets a Switch 2 edition with some new levels, new bosses, probably probably like a couple new areas as well. I can see this one happening. I think this is a strong candidate for a new campaign Switch 2 edition. I wouldn't be shocked. Mark my words, in 2 months in September, we're gonna get a Mario Wonder new campaign announcement in the September Direct. Trust me, it's going to happen. Might be even sooner. You never know. This one is, I'm kind of like 100% if it'll be a free patch or an addition, but Mario Maker 2. It's a little suspect that there isn't an update yet with mouse control. I feel like mouse controls Mario Maker is a no-brainer, and for some reason I feel that Mario Maker 3 is either far away or sooner than we think. So I feel like Mario Wonder style, or even any more 3D bonus styles for Mario Maker, is either warranted for its own new game, or like, I don't know. This one's kind of odd to me, because if it was just mouse controls, it should just be an update. Yeah, Mario Maker 2, I feel like either can be an update or an addition, depending on how they go about it. They can either like add a couple bonus worlds, like Wonder, or even throw some Galaxy stuff in there, or I don't know. This one's a question mark, to be honest. Xenoblade. All right. Ideally, they should all get updates, right? But there is one game out of the entire series. There is one game out of the entire series where I believe they can shake things up. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 did have a story expansion in Torna, right? Torna, the Golden Country. Golded expansion, right? But they have a chance to throw a curveball and introduce a new campaign. Maybe a campaign that fills in the gap between 2 and before 3 starts, where Nia becomes Like a spoiler. Every year is spoilers. Where Nia becomes queen and how Rex and the gang set up their new world once the Titans all converge, right? Alright, spoiler over. They can do that story expansion, right? Or, well, and as well, they can also fix a lot of the problems with Xenoblade 2 in the process, where a lot of areas are very low res, and handheld mode is actually impossible to play in because how low the resolution is. They can fix a lot of the problems, and get rid of the gacha system, please, or actually add pity this time. Please. I'm begging you. I still need... what is this guy's name? Akos. Yeah, I still need Akos. Where's... I just want Akos so I can 100% the game already, please. So please and thank you. Xenoblade 2 Switch 2 edition. Or they can either just wait out on it. And since the 10th anniversary is coming up anyways in a couple years, I think like in 2 years, they could just hold out and just make a Xenoblade 2 Definitive Edition and just market it as a Switch 2 edition that fixes all the issues, please. That'd be pretty peak. Alright, this one is actually kind of diabolical, and I feel like this is gonna happen. This is not my preferred way, right? I don't want Nintendo to do this. Bear that in mind. But I feel like this is what's going to happen, knowing Nintendo, right? Super Mario 3D All-Stars. 3D All-Stars. We all know that ordeal. It sold really well, but there was one big problem. It was a 1 year, I think it was 1 year, or 6 months or something like that. It was a limited time sale of the game. You could only buy it for like a year or something like that. And then it was delisted forever. If you didn't get the game, you didn't get the game. Hope you got a physical version of it, right? I don't know why they did that, but since the 40th anniversary for Mario is coming up, I can very easily see this happening. Especially since they've been doing a lot of updates to that game recently for Switch 2 compatibility. I won't be surprised that in September, or whenever next Nintendo Direct happens, I won't be surprised if there is a Switch 2 edition of 3D All-Stars that includes Mario Galaxy 2 and a couple, maybe 1 or 2 other Mario games as well. I know, optics-wise, re-releasing a limited time game with games that should have been it in the first place, Galaxy 2, probably not a good idea. But knowing Nintendo, that's probably what's gonna happen. Probably still gonna buy it, not gonna lie. Especially as a $10 upgrade, I'll fucking buy it, I don't give a fuck. I can very easily see that happening, to be honest. A Switch 2 edition of 3D All-Stars with Galaxy 2, maybe 3D Land, maybe 3D World, maybe, I don't know, throw in... I mean, that's all of them, right? Yeah, it's all of them. It'll probably be like a remaster of 3D Land, or something like that. I can very easily see that happening, unfortunately. Alright, the last edition I can see happening is another curveball. It's another curveball. Smash Ultimate Switch 2 Edition. Smash Ultimate. I know Sakurai. We all know Sakurai, the GOAT. He is hard working on the best game of all time coming up, Kirby Air Riders, right? But he's also known as being the director for Smash Brothers, right? I don't think Smash Brothers, the next Smash Brothers for Switch 2 is terribly far away, but also I wouldn't expect it within the next calendar year. I can probably see the next Smash Brothers game happening in 2 years, maybe 3, we're stretching it. Like, I could see it definitely between 2 to 3 years, I can see the next Smash Brothers game happening. And I think a good way to hold us over probably would be a Smash Ultimate Fighter Pass. Might as well add a new Fighter Pass. Extend that game's lifespan even further, right? I can easily see that happening, since it won't be as hard as creating a new Smash game, right? Just add like 5 new characters. It could be first party or third party. Preferably first party in this case, since we have gotten a lot of Nintendo games since Smash Ultimate that could get some representation, right? You know, Rex and Mio from Xenoblade 3. We can have some Fire Emblem Engage characters, right? We can add some... we can add Cappy. No, just kidding. Add Paper Mario. Add some characters that were released post Smash Ultimate that could deserve some representation, you know? It'd be kind of cool. But yeah, the Switch 2 edition games are kind of goofy because it's a lot of the games are games I just don't expect getting them. Like Mario Jamboree, I did not expect them getting a DLC expansion Switch 2 edition. Forgotten Land, I could have never expected that. But the games chosen so far mostly are games that don't have DLCs. Well, I guess the exclusion is Breath of the Wild. But most of the lists are games that don't have DLCs, and the free updates are games that do. We shall see. But anyways, y'all, that is the end of this video. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. If you liked the video, hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you are new. Hit the bell. Yeah, I gotta say that now, unfortunately. Thank y'all for watching today's video. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye now.